This is the 2011 Harris Flote-Boat Solstice 230 Tri-Toon, brought to you by Skipper's Marine. Now, this Harris Flote-Boat is a Tri-Toon, and if you've never been on a Tri-Toon before, Tri-Toons have a vastly different handling and riding characteristic to that of their two-toon brethren. They ride a lot higher in the water, they take less propulsion to go the same speed, and they handle a whole heck of a lot better, especially when you get into any rough water or any waves. And as you can see, this is a sport version. It has the lifting strakes, so 2 on the inside tube and 1 on the inside of the outer tubes. These lifting strakes cut through the water, acting like a hydrofoil, and really allow you to turn faster as well as get up and go a little faster. Another nice thing about this boat is it does feature full aluminum underskinning, so the whole bottom length of the boat is protected by underskinning, so no worry about open access to wood or anything like that. The Solstice is an upgraded model, and it is one of their top of the line, the Harris Flote-Boat. And as you can see by the curved rails and the nice stainless accents, they put a lot of work into really making this a good-looking and fully featured boat. And it does look great, but more than looking great, it has some fantastic features. One thing that I like about it immediately is it has a very large front deck. A lot of pontoons sacrifice this area for seating, but on this boat, even though it's a 23-footer, you've still got a pretty decent-sized deck out front. Now, of course, this isn't for use while underway, but if you want a place to sun lounge or sit on the front of the boat or jump off when the boat stopped, this is a fantastic platform to do it. And, of course, because the deck's so big, it makes it much easier to board the boat and to get on heavy things like coolers and things like that. So that's a nice feature right from the get-go. The furniture on this Solstice is very nice, very spacious, and very comfortable. All of it, of course, has under-seat storage. The boxes are all plastic, so there's no need to worry about wood rot or anything like that. It's a very large space here in the front. The other side has the same thing with a removable and movable cup holder. And then, of course, the headrest seats actually move out of the way to create additional storage. So you got plenty of storage under every seat as well as behind the headrest, as well as the built-in storages all over the boat. So very nice storage features, very nice furniture. One feature that I really like about the furniture is the fact that all of it is on a metal hinge system. So when you go and you open any of the furniture, rather than just being cushions that you can pop off and then the wind can pick up, they all have metal frames. So it's very, very easy to pick up and go, and there's no chance of you accidentally losing a cushion to usually freeway speeds, shall we say. So, a great feature and very useful and built into all their cushions. I think the rear of this boat is really where it shines as far as furniture is concerned. It's a very, very nice layout, a fairly unique layout, and has some really, really nice features to it. So, let me walk you through some of the features really quick. The first thing I really like, which is a bit unusual, is this little side-facing couch. Now, as you notice, it's directly across from the captain's chair, and what this is nice is, usually when the captain sits there, honestly, he's got no one to talk to. He or she will sit there and drive the boat, and people are usually either in front of him or behind him, and he doesn't have any partners in crime to chat with. So this little section is purposely built just so someone can talk to the driver, which is a really, really nice feature. Pretty darn unusual, and as a person who's usually driving the boat, something I personally really, really appreciate. So I think that's very well thought out. In the rear, you've got nice chaise lounge areas, which is great. You actually have pull-out storage, which is completely unusual on a pontoon boat and a great idea. So if someone's sitting on the furniture, you don't have to bother them to get into the storage space. You can actually slide it out with someone on there, which is awesome. Another really unique thing about this is this chaise lounge is all modular. So for example, in the rear, you actually have pop-up armrests. And then both of these cushions actually go completely flat. They go all the way down to the bottom level. So this whole side can be dropped down or lifted up at a whim. So you can either increase your bed space or increase your backrests. I mean, it's a really neat system. So something that's very unusual and really works out quite nicely in this case. And that is, of course, available on both sides. Both of these armrests go up and down. Now, the captain of this vessel has a very nice helm, of course. You've got tilt adjustment steering. You've got really nice polished pewter kind of finishing, as well as your rocker switches, your toggle switches, which I like a lot better than the plastic rockers, which is great. You have a Sony Marine grade CD player. You also have, as well as a standard 12 volt up here, you actually have an audio input and a USB input. So awesome whether you have iPod or any other listening device, you can pop it in right there. On your dash, you've got your standard cluster. You've got your hour meter, mile per hour. You've got a multi-function gauge, which does RPM, engine volts, and fuel. And then, of course, you get a trim gauge. And then over on the right-hand side, of course, you've got your binnacle. Now this boat, as stated by the MMA tag, is rated for 13 people and can take every bit of that. It's got tons of space and always a place for someone to sit on this boat. It's a great amount of space. Also on the helm, you've got a mini freshwater system. It's actually a pump-activated one with storage down here. You've got a 5-gallon bucket, 5-gallon plastic jug that you can fill up with fresh water and pump out for a cleaning station, which is pretty handy. This storage section also goes the entire length of the captain's console, so that's actually a pretty good sized storage bin. You can fit a small cooler in there as well as life jackets and other necessities. There are 2 tables on this boat. Now, there's one here in the rear and there's another in the front. And the really nice thing about them is they're both very, very simply removable, but very, very sturdy. They have a strong locking mechanism here. Undo your locking mechanism, twist the table sideways, and it pops completely out of the way. So if you're getting on and off the boat, if you're storing things, if you're going high speed down the freeway, it's pretty darn easy to pop these out, and once they're in and you're using them, you don't have to worry about them accidentally falling over. It's a very nice design. This boat has a 3-gate feature. You've got one standard gate in the front. Come along the port side, you've got another rail over here, which makes it easy to dock. And then in the rear, you've got another gate. The nice thing about the rear section is you still have a pretty large standing room over here and a really, really nice ladder. It's a 4-step ladder, which is very, very, very unusual. Usually they're 3 and they're hard to use. So this curved 4-step ladder will make getting back on the boat very nice. So definitely a handy feature to see back here. On the Solstice, there's a lot of small features that you can tell they've really put a lot of thought into. The rear section, I think, is really unique. That side compartment for the driver is really unique. The 4-step ladder on the back is really unique. I think that's awfully handy. One other very small thing, which I think is a wonderful idea, is these built-in rail guards. As well as your standard black vinyl rub rail, you've actually got built-in, genuine, tailor-made bumpers built straight into your deck. So if you have additional bumpers you want to put on there, great. If you don't, it's okay. You're traveling with them. So when you go tie up at a neighbor's dock or tie up at a marina, you are prepared already. It's built into your boat and it's ready to rock. This is a tiny feature that goes a huge way towards making it a fun and usable boat, and this boat is packed with things like this. Now this boat, when we got it, was originally configured with a 150, and it was great. It was a great motor. It popped out at about 37 miles an hour. But we decided the engine tag says 225, so why not? Let's push it. So we have her equipped with an E-Tec 225 HO HDPI motor. Fantastic power plant. Power to weight wise, it destroys just about everything in this class. It is a very, very, very powerful engine, typically seen on the back of bass boats. So we put this thing in the water, and she flies. She does about 46 miles an hour, and with a Tri-Toon, she's handling fantastically and pushing out great. So fantastic power plant on this. Of course, in the back, you've got your ski tow rack, so anything you wanted to do, tube, ski, wakeboard, no matter what you want, this boat has plenty of power to do it. And pack as many people as you want on her. She'll get up and go, no problem at all. The boat, of course, also comes with a tandem axle pontoon trailer specifically set up for Tri-Toons. You've got the center bunks in the middle here. And then on the front, you have a very nice stairway as well as a bunk stop. So very easy to get on and off the boat. It's a great trailer to have with her and comes in built with a canvas-wise as well as the bimini top. This boat also has both your standard full mooring cover, which covers the entire boat, and one really handy feature, individual seat covers. So take a look at the pictures, also available on the site, and you'll see a picture with those covers on. It makes it really, really easy, especially if you have a covered dock, so you don't have to put on that whole big cover the whole time. You can just put on individual seat covers, and that way when you're running down to the boat, it takes you 2 minutes to take the cover off and get out and on the water. So there you have it, the 2011 Harris Flote-Boat Solstice 230 Tri-Toon, brought to you by Skipper's Marine.